All right, blue-green taking turns. The most recent set between the Archive and New Strixhaven cards introduced infinite turns back into this format, chat. Time Warp does not exile when you cast it, so it gives a player an extra turn. And Quandrix Command here says target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard back into their library. So these two together allow you to take all of the turns you could possibly want to take. This build of turns that we're playing is kind of a turbo turns variation in that we're not really playing interaction. So a lot of people have been playing Memory Lapse and other interactive pieces like Haze of Pollen in their main deck. You'll note that I've got those cards in our sideboard, but our game 1 plan is basically cast Explorers and Growth Spirals, start taking turns and go from there. What is our win condition, you ask? Chat, when you're playing a taking all the turns deck, your win condition is sodium building up on the other side of the board. Should your opponent not go into a salt-induced state, we do technically have birds from Alrund's Epiphany, and I've got 1 Crawling Barrens hiding out here in the mana base, and we have this Kaheera the Orphanguard. So there are also variations of this archetype that are playing Nissa, and I think there's a good chance the Nissa version is very good as well, but this build specifically is looking to farm sodium as we've constructed it. So we've got some cantrips down here at the bottom, we got some planeswalkers, we got some visions, so let's see if we can take some turns and see how this build feels. Like I said, I do think there's a chance that this build is worse than the Nissa builds, but I also feel like I would be remiss not to try a configuration that's low on win cons at least once. Thanks for the tip, Justin. What are we doing after this one? Oh, you didn't give me a link, Justin. Hit me up with the link in chat when you got it. Razor Rocks, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Keeping me around. Sounds good. You got time. We're already playing this for an hour and a half or more, so you got a little bit. Hey, John Charlie, thanks for the sub gift. Heard we offer timeouts. Of course we do. What's going on, mister? Good morning. Nice. Nailed it. You'd be right to take a non-land there. Could go either way. Our deck definitely wants to hit like its first 8 land drops. Oh, they're playing junk food. This match is probably pretty okay for us, huh? Is taking turns the good guy against the junk food deck, chat? Let me know what you think in chat. Are we the good guy here? Probably real. Thanks for the follow. Captain Gravity, thanks for the brand new Prime support. We're both villains. I accept that as being reasonable. We're both villains. Man, that's sad. We're gonna lose this to when we crack our Fabled Passage. What if we brainstorm? You know what? I could brainstorm and guaranteed draw what we... So if I fetch before I Tamiyo... Yeah, let's start with this.
Hone your prowess.
Squid Warden Tentacruel. Thanks for the Prime support. Do you play Pokemon's Tentacruel? Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Captain Gravity. If you're interested in watching the next Togelandia Open or playing in it, our next Open is going to be May 8th. Saturday, May 8th for our next Open event. We'll have signups open for that soon.
I must train harder.
I'm intentionally fetching before I brainstorm, so this way I can go Time Warp on top of my deck here. Actually, I'm going to put Alrund's Epiphany on top of my deck. And then we'll plus this naming Alrund's Epiphany. Yes! Yeah, all historic. Unless they ban something Unless they ban something from Eldraine, the Hooglandia Opens are going to be all historic until rotation.
Your aggression is noted.
Your aggression is noted. My thoughts on Kefnet. I don't really want to turn on my opponent's removal spells with something like Kefnet. So they could technically kill Tamiyo by sacking every creature but Woestrider here. Hey, Archmage, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back.
Do not harm my
What even banned from Eldraine now? Bone Crusher Giant and Innkeeper. You could also just ban the entire set, but Bone Crusher Giant and Innkeeper go a long way. I know I have 2 Time Warps in hand, but I think that's still what I want to draw. I have 2 of those left in my deck, so I'm going to go ahead and plus here. Nailed it. Then we'll go ahead and do this. Oh, sick. We're going to get to Brainstorm 2 Time Warps back to the top of our deck, and then draw them with Tamiyo next turn. Let's do the time warp again. I get to make Rocky Horror Picture Show references while we're playing actual factual time warp. It's just a jump to the left and a skip to the right. Put your hands on your hips. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
Listen, chat. We talked about me being a theater kid earlier. I've seen Rocky Horror Picture Show a number of times. The King of DC, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Jeff is referencing a movie made before most of Twitch chat was born. I feel like I'm rooting for Thantos. That's because you are. All right, how much mana do I have? Look at these wheel spins, chat. There's the Quandrix Command.
Seek and find.
There's another Quandrix Command. And pretty soon we'll have all the turns. Listen, chat, fun is zero sum. So if you are having all of the fun, then that means your opponent is having none of the fun. Two counter, shuffle 3, target me. I would like to put Time Warp back into my deck. Do 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 do.
I know I noted this somewhere. I have practiced against many foes like you.
Many foes like you, opponent.
Meditate and prepare.
Prepare yourself, chat. The birds are going in. And again, how we go infinite from here is the second Quandrix Command shuffles in 2 Time Warps and the first Quandrix Command. Yeah, I mean, I think they're just clocking us at this point, but that's fine, chat. Listen, I don't care if we time out having a good time, okay? Have you heard about my birds? I said a bird. Bird's the word. I said a bird. We go Time Warp. Quandrix Command. Is there... We don't have another Time Warp, that's fine. I can put Epiphany back in. The Quandrix commands even increase the bird clock while we go. Listen, chat, you are never punishing your opponent by making them play out their infinite turns deck. If I didn't want to take infinite turns, I wouldn't be playing this deck. Our opponent is giving us a present right now. You make a blue-white control player click through their turn, or a turns player click through their turn. Like, you're giving them a gift. They are so happy that you're letting them do what they're doing. Oh, is there another Time Warp for the graveyard? Listen, chat, I don't have to play tight, okay? It's fine. The Metal Flex, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. All right, 2 turns on the stack. Anybody can win, chat. You know, my opponent's deck doesn't really seem particularly fast against us. Is it crazy to just click submit? I think we just like click submit and like beep beep hop in our Jeep and like do a Time Warp, right? Let's stay linear. I just cast a Brainstorm with the opponent's Narset in play for the first and last time. Does that mean you've deleted Magic Arena and you're done playing it forever? Because don't you lie to me. If you're going to continue playing Historic, there's no way you're not going to Brainstorm into a Narset again. So unless you've broken all of your arena devices or deleted your account, you know that's gonna happen again. I think I play Search here with only having 1 more land in hand. Explore doesn't sound particularly appealing. This gives me the best chance to find more lands next turn. I guess we can Brainstorm plus Fabled Passage next turn too. I'd like to draw a land naturally, though, so we can Brainstorm, Explore, then Fabled Passage, clear the Brainstorm, ideally. Oh, no! Korvald! How will we ever beat the overwhelming card advantage that Korvald generates, chat? Oh, no! Look at all of this card advantage! Hold me, chat. We'll never beat their insurmountable card advantage. I genuinely think... If you're someone that likes playing the Jund food deck, I don't judge you, chat. You like what you like. But if you're someone that likes playing the Jund sacrifice deck, I think you should be moving back to the Collected Company variation and move away from this build that grinds more. I think this grindy build is likely to become a thing of the past. And then we'll redraw the Forest here. And then we'll Fabled Passage, shuffle the redundant Tamiyo. This more interactive card advantage build, I think, is much worse than like playing Dreadhorde Butcher and running people down. Yeah, exactly. This build came to fruition because it was good against Jund Company specifically, but I think Company's much better against the expected format now, post Strixhaven. Maybe I should have thrown this back, actually, instead of the redundant Tamiyo. Hey, Steph. Thanks for the follow. Good morning. This Curvald might be quick enough to get us here. I know I was making fun of him, but... it's gonna be a pretty big boy next turn. Yeah, Corvald's a relatively quick clock from here. I don't think we die next turn. We probably die in 2 turns. That kind of gives us, just bounce it with Quandrix Command. Oh, I forgot about that. We do have a scotch of interaction in the main with Quandrix Command. Very true. How the deck's been today? Very reasonable, Wargy. Been a fun day of Magic. Oh, you know what? If I would have explored, I could have also Narset this turn, right?
Pick one.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Thoughtfulness before action.
And then I would have been able to Aldarunes next turn. It could have also been right to Tamiyo here. I'm gonna get to Aldarunes next turn regardless, right? Because we're gonna flip the Azcanta if I bid my top card. All right, well, now I don't have to bid my top card to flip Azcanta. Glass half full. Yeah, we get 2 looks at Time Warp here. We also get 2 looks at our second Epiphany. We got 5 Time Walks we can hit here. Quandrix Command is also great.
This was overwhelming.
Yeah, my sequencing last turn was super sloppy, though. I love the Thoughtseize bug is so good. God bless. Let's do the time warp again. I don't even know if we're time warping here, huh? I kind of feel like I'm doing this. How do we feel about Tamiyo, down tick, pick up Eldarunes?
Like the phases of the moon.
Because remember, taking extra turns isn't actually useful if you don't have like a Planeswalker or something in play, right?
I have learned much from my ancestors.
That's really good.
You are setting a bad
It
example.
might have been right to pick a land up with her last turn too, honestly. Getting to like 8 to 9 mana here is pretty important. Yeah, Tamiyo and Time Warp are the same turn. Yeah, I think I probably should have picked a land up last turn instead of picking this up. Because then if I would have drawn a land, I could have Time Warped and Tamiyo at the same time. We're kind of hoping to draw, like, running lands here.
I question this outcome.
Yeah, I agree, Duck Doolittle. The content's been better since we stopped taking lots of cheap deck submissions. Believe it or not, a lot of the things people are willing to pay for cheap aren't very good on average. Alright, so we want to draw another land here, ideally. Alright, and they can't currently sacrifice anything, right? I only have 3 time warps in my bin, right? So I'm definitely just looking for another one of those. Their goose is summoning sick.
Let me aid your research. No tail should be discarded.
So do I... I think I leave... No, I should put them all back into my deck, right? If I leave one in here, Tamiyo can down tick to pick it up. Are there 4 in here? No, those are Brainstorms. I have Azcanta as well. Yeah, it's a lot of looks next turn. Nah, I think it's wrong. I'm gonna put Narset back in. Just conceding. I mean, they're not guaranteed dead. They're close to it, though. Alrund's Exiles, chat. Well-designed extra turn spells, exile. I mean, they were bored. Concede when you're bored, chat. Whoa, Master, thank you for the 1.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. What about exile to the top of your library? Ooh. Cat oven player getting bored. What a shame. Yeah, right? Oh, that sympathy for you I have none. Alright, chat. Got some slippery boys over here. Slippery boys and girls. Well-designed extra turn spells shuffle back in. Right. Let's go with that. God bless you, Thoughtseize Bug. Thanks for the 5 months, Raishuko. gonna do this now because I can abundant harvest. Hey, Vasith, excited for all the cool new things to happen in Historic. Thanks for sweet text. Thanks for the quarter of a year support. Welcome back. I think we're end step brainstorming since I can clear one of the cards with search. I also want to just like fill up my bin towards Azcanta. My favorite part about saying Thoughtseize bug is Arena's so buggy, people believe it's an actual bug instead of me being cheeky. I think I'm binning that and transferring this. Is that a good one, chat? Is that one good? When your combo enabler also doubles as just a scotch of interaction. We do it now in case they have blessing? Nah, chat, my dojo doesn't have fear in it, unlike some of you. Don't let fear run your lives, chat. We're actually taking a land tier, right? I think we're just passing. Activating Azcanta. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't quite have enough mana to Tamiyo and Time Warp in the same turn. I'm definitely not playing Kira. I don't think they can kill us next turn. It's either Tamiyo plus or Azcanta activate. One of the two. I think it's Azcanta activate. Hey, thanks for the follow, Rotten Spam. Urinal Mike, thanks for the half a year. Morning, good morning. All right, how many percentage points do we gain looking at 6 versus looking at, All right, Tamiyo is 36% to hit. Visions is 50% to hit. Yeah, there's a good chance we die next turn. We're 1 mana short of being able to Alrund. We do, however, have a perfect Brainstorm lined up. It's not going to do anything here, unfortunately. Have I played a land yet? I played that crap. If they try and put lethal into play here, we could technically growth spiral into an unsummon. I have a Fabled Passage in play, chat. The person who said I know my top card. I'm not dead yet. It's lethal. Alright, so we got a 2-outer. We're one mana short of being able to block with Crawling Barrens. Man, we put a lot of cards there. It's unfortunate. Huh, you know, something I didn't think about was them not having lethal in hand. I think we messed up by not playing Narset out. I think is what I should have done there. I should have played Narset to deny them the ability to draw into things that could kill us. Yeah, and that line didn't even occur to me because like Narset's static isn't really something you use against non-blue decks a lot of the time. But that was definitely the line. And I could have played her instead of impulsing, right? What, the whiffs feel bad compared to the insane draws? What does that even mean? Like, how is that a useful thing to say? Yes, your combo deck feels bad when it bricks and it feels good when it goes off. What kind of, that's just... Twitch chat. Yes, your descriptor is accurate. It is accurate to say that winning is more fun than losing. I think I'm Narsetting this turn, but I'm gonna keep that to ramp for later.
If you wish to surrender, keep an open mind. Contain your rage.
Contain your rage. Decent turn.
I still have much to learn.
Hey, Dobson, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning.
Let us see if you're to the library.
I've got these for blockers. I get to activate Azcanta this turn. Oh yeah, punish me, daddy. Do 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 do. I think I just want to land tier 8. I'm gonna plus this same time warp again.
I think you will find my note helpful.
We're looking for Quandrix Command at this point.
And find.
Sorry. Look at our bird working off its punishment here, chat. Alright, do I want interaction on the draw? Do I like want some Haze of Pollen here, perhaps? I can see this being reasonable. I didn't board them in on the play because just like beep beep, we're gonna race. We win by killing them with birds. No, my opponent just conceded. That's how we win. For people that haven't played a time walk deck before, you win through sodium and sheer force of will. Maybe just like trim around the edges with some of our cantrips. Azcanta seemed pretty important. Maybe I trim one of these ramp spells actually. Sure. You can avoid mulliganing against the Thoughtseize deck, avoid mulliganing. Abundant Harvest clearing Brainstorm here is just like so disgustingly good. These cards work well together, chap. Abundant Harvest is one of the Strixhaven archives. It is a preprint. This card will be in Modern Horizons 2 this summer. Alright, and their Duress put a card in our bin, so the search is going to get to flip over here. That being said, I also need to not die. Well, I mean... Yeah, this isn't good, chat. This is just tire spinning. Well, I mean, technically not dead on board. Dead to literally anything. Wow, they should... No, I need Crawling Barrens to not be dead on board, chat. They should definitely make me activate this Crawling Barrens. Now I get to Growth Spiral, and they should have made me kill their 1/1 to tie up my mana for the turn. This was a big mistake on their part. Honestly, I think we're supposed to Narset, right? I think we're supposed to Narset and Haze of Pollen.
Those who cannot perceive beyond the veil of reality are left hone your prowess.
Oh, I could get mana tethered. I should do this during their upkeep. Yeah. Yeah, that should definitely happen during their upkeep. Good call.
Meditate and prepare.
What's the red land for? Claim fame? She waited for the declarative attacks to tap. Why? Explain to me why. Hey, there's a Fabled Passage in my bin, so this Tamiyo can downtick and grab a land, and then I can cast Time Warp.
The moon looks intriguing tonight. I follow the tracks of the wild.
Yeah, pretty likely to combo off from here, especially with the blockers. See, chat, you don't need cards like Nissa in your taking turns deck. Sodium is the win condition. Sodium. Just take game actions and eventually they concede. Fabled Passage did 35 damage. Yeah, exactly. I understand. I don't know if this is the best version of taking turns out there, but it's definitely the most sodium rich. I do play relatively quickly. That is true. I guess it depends on who you ask if that's a good thing, because it means I don't time out. So if you're counting on your turn's opponent timing out, you can't count on that against me. This is a land. Ooh. Our opponent's playing the slow Sultai Ultimatum deck. Has this deck been completely outclassed in this format? I guess we'll see, right? Let's see if they're able to give us fits or not. They're getting set up to turn 4 here, huh? Turn 4 is pretty quick. They do have interaction in their deck. One Narset, please. Alright, I'll take an Explorer, I suppose. The turn decks felt so far. We're currently undefeated. Going nowhere fast this game, though. It's a shame we didn't have one more mana to be able to counter this. I think we Tamiyo plus pass, right? Is the play here Tamiyo plus pass?
I would like to test a new hypothesis with you. I know I noted this somewhere.
CJ the Judge, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. That's everybody for out this afternoon, by the way. Pretty awesome to see 1,700 people in here enjoying some historic. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Chef Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here Monday through Friday, usually 6 or 7 hours a day. We do a ton of Magic Constructed. Historic's the primary format I'm playing these days. We usually try and get a lot of variety in my stream each day, so if you like seeing a lot of different decks, I usually play 3 or 4 different decks every single day. A lot of the decks we play are viewer submission, so if you have a sweet idea and you'd like to support my content a little bit for a $50 donation, I would love to play one of your decks on stream at some point in the future. If you're just looking for more sweet decks to pick at and content to watch, my YouTube channel archives everything that I stream, everything getting cut up deck by deck. So there's lots of great content up there every single day when I sign off, with importable deck lists in each video description. Juju Gazby, thank you for the 59 months. Almost 5 years. Welcome back. I think Tamiyo might have increased my opponent's blood pressure a little bit here, chat. Opportune moment to shill. So Tamiyo static text here, for those not intimately familiar with her, says spells and abilities your opponents control cannot cause you to discard cards or sacrifice things. So her static text here is going to counter Elspeth's Nightmare nicely. And then we're going to start doing the Time Warp next turn. It's just a hop to the left. And then a skip to the right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When your Tamiyo is lethal for the match game 1, you love to see it. Hi, Sancho. Thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. Did well. Thanks for the prime. Whoop, whoop. Penostagon, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I believe our opponent has left the game. So I believe we're going to see one more tick down here and then they'll explode. Tamiyo's tough, chat. Tamiyo's tough. Listen, it's rough. Sultai Ultimatum to me feels like a deck that didn't survive Strixhaven. So Gruul aggro obviously still good, Rogue still good, but Sultai Ultimatum feels like a deck that's gets largely outclassed by the combo decks that were introduced by Strixhaven. Listen, chat, our deck's a sweet brew. Their deck is the established deck from last season. The game bricked my phone. That doesn't surprise me. Fekarax, thanks for the 15 months. Yeah, this hand's great, right? This is land 3. This is land 4 if we need it. Oh no! Basic Mountain. Chat, I'm scared for our time watch, chat. Oh no! Oh no! Everybody clench. There's a Basic Mountain and we lost the die roll, chat. Alright, so Merch of the Veil means they're a Phoenix deck, not Storm most likely. I guess that could be Storm still. It could go either way. I feel like they're probably a Phoenix deck. We're just looking for ramp spells currently. Like that. We're gonna play 2 Explorers this turn. Actually the best draw on our deck. And then I think we just want another land for next turn, right? Fabled Passage is a great land too, because it means we get to work towards... Search for Azcanta is secretly a ramp spell in this deck too, which is great. So like next turn... Ooh, is there going to be a next turn? Next turn might have been an ambitious thought, chat. Looks like Budget Storm. Can you tell me what about their deck implies they're a budget deck? Sammy N, thank you for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Have a good one, Black Sheep. You can always catch up later on the YouTubes. In order for a deck to be budget something, you kind of need to like... In order for a deck to be budget something, you kind of need to have an established, more expensive build in the format. And like Storm doesn't really have an expensive build that's known. I assume we're gonna die here, huh? Or at 9, they just like cast another couple spells and they recast the Grape Shot from the bin. Oh, budget as in it's just cheap to build, sure. I think that definition of budget is weird. I guess different, you know, things for different folks or whatever, but in my mind, when someone tells me a deck is budget, I always think of that as, okay, it's a version of something else that's been made more affordable. So like unless there's like an established variation of the opponent's archetype that's just like cheaper, I don't know that I'd really consider that budget. Hey Kelvin, thanks for the tip. Be happy to get your deck added to the queue. I mean, budget decks on Arena are decks that just have less rares and mythics in them. The storm counter on Arena is the copy. It's only on the actual storm card. So they have unlimited. They have unlimited mana now with Grinning Ingus, right? But I don't think they have us dead yet. Yeah, this is a turn 4 kill if they kill us this turn. But they don't have a grape shot yet, so. Oh yeah, there's a grape shot in here. Yeah, Storm is lethal. Like they have all of the mana. Yeah, they have to discard Ingus here and hope to hit here. They found a Ryle, which draws a card, which gives them 2 more looks with the horn. So again, chance we die here. Yeah, the fact that Winota is banned in this format is such a crock of crap. I really hope they revisit the ban list in this format soon. We even have like 3 lands in a row at this point. Wait. Oh, looting puts cards in the bin. Okay, so with the Underworld Breach, we're dead, right? There's no way they break off here. They exiled their Breach earlier, chat. Honestly, like, none of our interaction is very good here. Merchant is a deterministic kill. Explain. So they have to have a card in hand for that, chat. There was a point there. You're right. When my opponent has mana and has a card in hand, there was a window there where they didn't have a card in hand while having infinite mana. Was the part I believe you are missing. Yikes, it's a lot of search for Azcanta. So I was brainstorming on turn 1 here, because I was going to put a search for Azcanta 2 cards down and then mill it with this other search for Azcanta. You know, I should probably brainstorm again here in case I found Abundant Harvest. So again, the context is key. If you're going to tell me something I missed in chat, you need to explain what I missed, because if I missed it, it's probably because I didn't understand the interaction. So just saying this is infinite with no context isn't really helpful. Does this count as 2 ships passing in the night? 100%. They're going to end up being too slow here.
Let us have a story that will work. Let me aid your research.
Yeah, but if I flipped Azcanta, I had to redraw the second Azcanta that was on top of my deck that I didn't want to draw in, yeah? And what does flipping Azcanta aggressively during my upkeep accomplish? Like, why is that a good play? Storm is a good reason for them not printing Remand. Not really. We do have Mono Red Storm in the queue. I think there's 100 different ways to build this deck. I also think, though, if I wanted to build an interactive combo deck, I wouldn't build this archetype. I think you could build this deck to be interactive, but that's not the reason I would want to play it. So the opponent is killing us potentially on turn 4 for a second game in a row here. They really need to unban Winona. DMA Cat, thanks for the follow. Beaster, if you're still here, welcome to the channel this morning. Simply Skill, thanks for the follow. Someone said the opponent's archetype was something Saffron Olive played recently. I'm sure there's a ton of different variations of it out there. Yeah, this type of matchup is the opponent's archetype is much worse against traditional interaction like discard spells and creature removal, whereas our deck's a little bit slower, but it gets to be resilient to those style of effects. So that's the trade-off. In a heads-up matchup like this, it means our opponent's deck is much more likely to win head-to-head, but against the field, they just kind of have different styles of matchups. Hey, Saban, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Can't believe Tainted Pack Singleton was halfway decent. It was sweet. That being said, they bricked off, but we're not really doing a whole lot here, right? I drew a Time Warp, but we're not going to do much with it. I only have 7 mana here. Well, there's another land. Do I want to land with this? Oh no! Oh no! Wow, okay, well, okay. Woof. That's fine, we're dead. Yeah, like I said, we're pretty, our deck generally speaking doesn't combo till like turn 5 is early for us, like turn 6 is more realistic. And we're not really interacting with the opponent, so in an instance like that, they just run us down. And I don't think that changing this deck to be super interactive is the answer to a matchup like that. I think I'd rather just dodge it. Like people asking about, well, do we build a more interactive version of turns? It's like, sure, I guess if you're married to turns and you very explicitly care about the mono-red Storm matchup, that could be a change you could make. But I also think that you're just incredibly likely to... The matchups that are faster than us where Haze of Pollen isn't interaction are really low, so I'd rather just punt a matchup like that. Well, Damping Sphere stocks rise soon. No, probably not. I'd be kind of surprised if the last opponent's archetype ends up being super playable long term, but you know, formats like this are hard to predict, so that's definitely something that could happen, but it'd be surprising to me if it did. Just gonna pass here, Growth Spiral on their turn. Yeah, I agree, hello. The fact that the Storm deck depends on creatures, what would you recommend for a good interactive deck? There's a good interactive deck in this format? Ooh, this is super punishing for not playing Explore last turn. Yeah, because they're on Narset, that's a reason to explore proactively. Definitely don't want to draw that one.
I am Tamiyo.
Gonna hit a land drop here.
Honor to meet you.
Actually, for the sake of keeping a card in my bin, I'm gonna fetch with this. And then down tick grab. Fabled Passage.
The past is never forgotten.
Yeah, the Magma Opus decks have seemed like they could be reasonable interactive decks. There's been a few of those going around, like the Teamer Flash deck. Yes, this is a pretty big deal. Like, if I would have done this instead, I would have gotten to Growth Spiral this turn and still draw my card with their Narset out. Five cards in my bin, so if I fetch here, I get to flip Search for Azcanta potentially. Try and kill their Narset.
You are a mighty warrior. I concede.
I guess I should have plus naming Time Ward first, huh?
To the library.
Never lucky. It could also be right to prioritize getting our own Narset down this turn, just because we know they have Teferi in hand, but they also have the Cast Out. But I guess you could argue if Narset gets hit by Cast Out, that's a win for us over Teferi, or over Tamiyo getting hit. How many counter spells do they have in hand? Apparently not one for 2 mana. I guess they could have a veto here, they just didn't care about the Time Warp.
I have practiced against many. Keep an open mind.
Tamiyo it is.
Every story is an opportunity for new data.
They could have a Censor. Yeah, I've been playing around Censor. Grab Time Warp here, guaranteed. And Narset in play does a lot to damper what they can do. So they're getting a turn here, but like I have Narset in play. I have a Narset in play. Morning, Teferi. Go tuck yourself. Got a Narset here. Yeah, woo. Thanks for the follow. Just a hop to the left and a skip to the right.
Hone your prowess.
Obviously should have used the Narset first, chap. Clearly should have used the Narset first. You know, honestly, I think I'm in for a land here. Is the win con just Crawling Barrens? Nah, our opponent will concede at some point. I also have Alrund's Epiphany, but... And I haven't played any Alrund's yet, right? So that's what I'm naming when I plus her here.
Seek and find.
See, chat? Win condition. As they sink slowly into their chair, realizing what has begot on the other side of the board. I think we actually cut Explorer because they're an Narset deck. I'm gonna bring in the Disputes and the Memory Lapses. I want Shark Typhoon. I think I want Shark Typhoon. Yeah, it's probably a Shark Typhoon matchup. Let's shoot a couple of Brainstorms again because of Narset. Just want to try and minimize the impact of that card on the other side of the board. The fact that we had Crawling Barrens to kill it there is, we want Wilt for Rip. Didn't the old deck like this have Nissa or Krasis? Any merit to adding that? Instead of me telling you you're wrong, next time tell me why you're right. You're not new here. Come on. When you can find all the decks that I've played, you can find them up on my YouTube channel. Every single deck gets a video there at the end of the day with the last deck list in the video description that we played. So usually we iterate on decks as we play them, and I put whatever we'd play at the end up there. We're just looking for lands, right? Just want to hit like our first 10 land drops with this deck in most games. You missed a land drop. Speaking of. Harvest is really good. Yeah, this card is stellar. I saw some other people playing turns decks without this card or without 4 copies of it, and that's definitely a decision. It's good at clearing your Brainstorm too. We have plenty of mana here, so we can go ahead and try and cash this in for something useful. Take a Time Warp for down the line. I'm supposed to take the birds. Birds are too close to an actual win con. Yep. Well, shoot. I did not board in Wilt. Yeah, I think we're cold to the rest in peace here. We can technically ult the runes and then beat them down our Crawling Barrens though. But we're off infinite turns because of the rest in peace. Ah, our opponent's playing a combo deck too.
I have just the trick for this.
Really don't want another. I guess Brainstorm's good with Tamiyo. We gotta throw this extra Narset back. Then we'll harvest for a land here.
I would like to ask about any lunar anomalies you have experienced. I know I noted this somewhere.
And they drew Veto for the turn. Fortunate.
Let me aid your research.
I definitely messed up by not boarding in Wilt. Yeah, I'm aware.
I won't forget our time together.
No, I should just board in my copies of Wilt that I already have in my sideboard. I shouldn't put bad cards in my deck. Now there's a couple copies of Time Warp in my deck. Oh, I did board in that though. And so next turn I can go Shark Typhoon into Time Warp. I didn't board in the Wilts chat, but I boarded in the Shark Typhoons.
Let's slow this down. No time for a break.
Oh gosh. Wow, brutal. The old 11 mana sensor gets you.
To phase you out of time.
I have one Alrund's Epiphany left in my deck, right? I'm supposed to plus looking for that.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I only have 8 mana left here. I think there's sweepers left in their deck. Nah, probably not. And you know what? I'm just gonna take the Teferi off the table here, I think. Nah, if they have a Shark of their own, they can eat it. Am I okay with that? No, if they have a Shark of their own, I can use the Quandrix Command. Okay. Yeah, let's pressure them.
How long do you want to wait for a rematch?
Past, present, and future are bound by rapid thoughtfulness before action.
This deck devours control, chat. It's you know, someone asked in the subs Discord the other day. What deck dumpsters control. It's probably this one, honestly. I don't know that I have any changes that I'd make to this. I kind of feel like you look at our main deck is like pretty trim, right? Like we're mostly 4-ofs. We have a couple of 3s of the things you don't need to see early. We have like 11 ramp spells. We've got 4 of each of the good cantrips. We've got 3 of this as a Scotch of Interaction and also our combo enabler. I liked having the Haze of Pollens in the sideboard and boarding into them when they're good as opposed to having the main deck. I know they cycle, but just like having 8 ramp spells felt good. Yeah, I don't think I really have anything to change here. Right.